could cut this out. So
cut. Psych, we're back with VRF Tech Talk. What's going on, everybody?
Hey, man, it's Roman and Donald here on the VRF Tech Talk podcast, talking all things VRF. And we wanted to kind of put together a special introduction to a video that we got to shoot at AHR in Las Vegas 2026. What do we do, Donald? Who we talk to?
We talked to some really nice people at the Bosch.
Bosch Hitachi.
The Bosch Hitachi. No, like, what do they call those? The exhibit, I guess.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, exhibit.
Yeah, no, they had some pretty interesting things to say, and it was cool to see that they're kind of tech forward, and by tech I mean you, the technician, forward.
Yeah,
in the product offering that they're coming to market with.
Yeah, so they reached out to us. The marketing team reached out to us, right? They didn't reach out to us specifically, but they were just like, "Hey, would you like to talk to our teams? Would you like to connect with our teams and kind of just shoot a live podcast, maybe a video along with it?" And we just, why not? I mean, there's a lot of times where, sure, you can go to the booth, you can go say hi to people, you can go to these big shows, you can go to these big trade shows and all that, and go through those things together. But at the end of the day, it's still, it's still one of those things where, seeing someone and understanding who you're talking to and the questions that you need directed towards them is wildly different. So,
yeah, it was pretty cool to get down to sit down with them and just kind of talk about what they're doing, what they're kind of doing different than, what we have experience with in other product lines. And I think that tap to pay, not really, no, tap to get the service information out of the machine that's pretty cool. Because that really helps the maintenance guys that may not have all the training in the world on VRF or air conditioning in general, right? Because let's be honest, that air conditioning is the small part of what they have to do in a day, and to be able to pull data out of there to send to somebody quickly that, this is the data that I had an issue with. What's going on? That's so cool.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So a lot of great features. But here's the thing: like, you go to these places, like I was talking about, and it's usually it's the sales brochure talk, right? It's like, look at all these features, look how efficient it is, yada yada yada. But let's be honest,
paint on it.
Yeah. Oh wow, new colors, so cool. At one point I think they blew snow on us by accident, or it's like fake snow in the booth. Which again, it's a cool touch, sure. But at the end of the day, as technicians in the field, we want to understand how bad is this equipment going to screw us over when we have to go fix it. Because that's the biggest thing, right? You're going to show up to a call with a Hitachi unit, a new Hitachi unit, and that's just like, well, what the heck do I do? And so, where do I go? What do I need to know? What are the ins and outs? And so we tried to cover most of that in the interview that we did with him. There's some sales stuff in there, sure, but for the most part, a lot of this comes down to what is their equipment? Where do you go? How do you get access to the information? Training, all those small things. And they do seem to be pretty focused on getting this information out there, and I've been very open with us about getting us the information. So we're excited, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like I said, it was cool that they were really tech forward. And they I think we've seen in the groups a couple times in the really near past that, we're tired of the gatekeeping, and it seems like they're kind of the maybe the catalyst to other manufacturers not being gatekeepers on information that help people fix the products.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty awesome. So please enjoy the interview, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. Without further ado, stop listening to us and go listen to us in the video.
Go listen to us from 2 weeks ago. So see you guys.
Bye.
Hey, so let's start. Yeah. Let's kick it off. So I'm Roman with the VRF Tech Talk podcast with my co-host Donald
Donald Felice from Tech Talk podcast.
We're joined here at the Hitachi booth.
This is Enes. I am with Hitachi. I'm a VRF product portfolio manager for Hitachi. I'm the only person responsible for all the Hitachi's VRF portfolio for North America.
Yeah, so we'll post his phone number and his email at the end of this podcast, so you can just contact him directly.
All support needed.
But no, it's good. So we were super happy that you guys reached out to us. There's a lot of people in the VRF space around equipment, different menu. And so to see you guys focused on wanting to reach out and connect with the community is a big thing. Support with equipment is one of those things. it's done really, really well, or it's not done at all. So I've kind of seen that firsthand. We know somebody that actually works with Hitachi for a little while. All good things to say about you guys. So you're good there. But outside of that, it's not just about selling the boxes, but it's also about supporting the product with your team. So I think you guys do that well. So let's talk about some of your new products you guys have coming out this year.
Yeah, before I go there, I want to talk about Hitachi. Everybody thinks whenever they hear the brand Hitachi, everybody thinks about power tools and excavators.
It's true.
So Hitachi is actually very big when it comes to HVAC. They are the ones that invented the CO compressor. They have been producing VRF units since 1980s. Engineers extremely talented in Japan. It's a Japanese brand. We have a culture, we have a history. We have been innovating since 45 years. 45 years.
That's a big difference, 25 and 45. And so you were telling us earlier too, so many manufacturers out there, they just want to get in the space so quickly, and so when they go to get in the space, they buy all their parts from other manufacturers and they squeeze it together in a box and then they turn around and they sell it.
Yep.
And the problem with that is that it's almost impossible to support a product like that.
Right.
So when you were telling us, manufacturer does everything in-house.
Exactly. We actually have another booth for compressors. For compressors, Hitachi is a very big brand. We sell to a lot of other brands, Hitachi compressors. Many of the brands you see in the show, they use Hitachi compressor in one or another product. So if you go to our factory in Japan, not only you will see a production line where they're putting together a unit and assembling the heat exchanger and the sheet metal panels, there's a whole CNC machine line where they have a precision machining parts. They are producing the rotary compressor, the scroll part of the compressor out of a steel block. They're just extruding it and making a scroll part of the compressors. So we own the entire supply chain of producing our own compressors. We have whole compressor research and development team. They come up with the design and we have a production site where they can produce the compressor on site for installation into a VRF unit.
That's wild.
That's good.
It's wild to think of.
And does that all happens under one roof, so there's no back and forth between, a factory from this part of the world to that part of the world, to really cut down on the problems that translations can have, right? So
Exactly. We own the supply chain. Yeah. Compressors are long lead time items, and if you can own that part of that part of the product, then that gives us shorter lead times for our clients. Also, we have control of specific needs. If we need more replacement, if you go to compressor manufacturer and you say, I want 32cc compressor, they say off the shelf I only have 30cc and 40cc. 32cc is random.
Make it work, right?
Yeah. But once we own that process, we can make whatever compressor we need for our product.
I think it's the feedback part too. There's that feedback loop with manufacturing that often gets overlooked, where when you design a product and you put it out in the field, if it's being applied differently than originally you designed it, if you don't have that connection to that design feedback to then make changes to your product to meet the needs of your clients, but then it's just like, well, you go back to the people you buy your compressor stuff and they say, well, just don't do that.
So
but like really, you're cutting out the middleman. So like if you go back to the manufacturer and say, hey, this is something wrong with your compressor, now it's going directly to you rather than to a manufacturer and then from the manufacturer to somebody else, right? That's great.
Exactly, and that gives us the opportunity. Wall to wall, we keep the entire margin, we keep the profit, then we can invest that profit to more engineers and development and R&D, and we can have larger team that's developing a custom compressor that's specific to our custom need in North America or Canada.
Right.
That was good. You were talking also about how you guys are rolling out R32.
Right.
Big flagship right now for a lot of people.
So all the Hitachi products in North America, we are choosing the refrigerant to go with as R32 as this transition happens. For our mini splits and multi, Air Home is the single one-to-one residential product, and we have Air Core, which is more like larger capacities, professional, light commercial. That is also launched already last year with R32. And this year is our transition phase for VRF. And VRF, we are going with R32 as well, following our municipal flight part.
Do you know when that's going to be available in our market? That's the big thing right now. We can all talk about it. We know that they're going to R32, which is a great thing, in my opinion. But on top of that, it's when do we start seeing it hit the market? When we start designing it, when we start purchasing it, when we'll see it hitting the streets. And that's the big gap we have right now. Well, do I sell them R410A and design it that way, or do I try to use the software to make it fun?
It's a very good question. Actually, for commercial side, we see a lot of demand. Still, contractors and designers are not very confident with the whole R32 profile boxes and mitigation and all these things.
Yeah.
So we are still seeing a big demand for R410A. But for residential portion, so for VRF, we split it, right? Under 65,000 MBH, it's a residential VRF, and light commercial VRF. Above 65,000 MBH, it's a commercial VRF. That's the cutoff line that AHR put for us. So all the residential VRF have already been launched, single phase, as of last year. We launched the indoor units, we launched shut-off valve boxes, and we launched the condenser. So now we are launching only the condensers for three-phase, which can be used with all the indoor units we already launched last year.
I like it. Yeah, and that was the problem too. It was like not until the end of last year, some big manufacturers that we know that we see a lot of, they were like, well, we're going to give you one Indoit, and then we're going to give you maybe another Indoit. It's like, no, give me the whole product line.
Or, they didn't have the shut-off boxes available yet. So, like, designing around the light commercial single-phase R32 unit was rough, because we didn't have what we needed to meet the mitigation needs.
Yeah, because you could get the Indoit units, and you could get the outdoors.
Yes, we do have everything exists for Hitachi brands, and we do have a selection tool. So it's not necessarily needed absolutely 100% of the time you have to install a shut-off valve box.
Sure.
There's certain cases, it's all engineering. If you look at the length and the width of the room and the height of the room, and you get some kind of a volume, and you have a refrigerant amount that can potentially go into that room, then you can kind of see the concentration of the refrigerant, and there are limits that are put in place by UL. So if you're above or below that limit, you need a shut-off valve box or not. So we have a tools built in. It's called AirCloud Select. You select your outdoor unit, you select your indoor unit, and you put your installation space. And design tool will tell you, you can go ahead and install this, and the design will be blessed by ASHRAE and UL, and you are good to go with that shut-off valve box. Or it will tell you, you need to add a shut-off valve box, and it will be part of your bill, and it will be added to your order, and you order shut-off valve box.
Great.
I love that. And that's the biggest thing is that disconnecting piece of, here's a new product, here's how we use it, but then the software to design it, it's just
Not ready yet.
It's not ready yet. It's underdeveloped. We can't select the right things with all these small software things. Again, we sometimes get so ahead of ourselves, tripping over to get to the end product, that we forget all the other connecting pieces that we have to use in the field to use your product. Right. And it can make it meaningful.
Exactly. It's not about the equipment, and design part is also large. The software itself, it knows all the rules, it knows all the regulations, all the calculations, and everything is built into it. If you look at these formulas they put in place, it's very confusing, right? If you're in a heating mode, the releasable charge is different. If you're in a cooling mode, it's different, because on the heating mode, you're putting hot gas and it goes into the indoor side, it becomes a liquid, and the amount of refrigerant that's in the line set in the heating mode or cooling mode or simultaneous getting into it is different. And there's a lot of formulas, and our software design tool takes into account of all these formulas, and it tells you just, you need a shut-off valve or you don't need a shut-off valve. And for a designer, for an engineer, this is a blessing. They know what they need for this.
I mean, like, I see it often that it becomes a go, no-go, and like having that ability to say it's good or it's not in the software takes all the guesswork out for the design engineer.
Exactly.
Yeah, and well, the other thing I was going to ask is, how easy is it to get the software?
It is very easy. It's very easy as sending an invitation. I can send you an invitation. I can pull up the design software right now, and this is actually a touch screen. We can do a design.
Love it. Well, so that's the thing is, you have a product, you know it works. We love the product. We want to sell the product, but getting connected to the right software. Sometimes it's like, you have to get a class. And I know somebody who knows.
You got to work as a rep. You got to be a dealer. You got to do this.
Yeah. And so it gets really complicated. It's like at the end of the day, I just have a client that I need to satisfy.
It's an open software. You just need an invitation. It's an open software. You can be an engineer. You don't necessarily need to be a rep or a dealer or a distributor. You can get an invitation and you can open the software. You can design around it.
So my question then would be for people who are watching, where can they go to gain access? So then who are they contacting? They go to your website, want to contact us. How would they get a hold of somebody?
They get a hold of their rep or distributor and ask for an account, and they send them an invitation, and they can open the software and they can start designing.
Sounds so awesome.
What about training for the same products for the technicians out there?
There is. We have, our training manager is in-house, and he can tell you about it, but there's a website. I don't know off of my head what's the link, but we have videos available to watch and train. Also, we have on-site training. We have a Dallas training center in Irving, Texas, and they can come there and we can train them on 3-phase, single phase.
I've seen the photos. It's nice.
Yeah, it's very good.
Well, that's good because that's the other thing too is that people roll out products really quickly, and there's the sales brochures, there's the software training piece that everybody forgets about. It's like, well, when we start installing these, I need access to a few things. I need access to one, obviously I need to know how to commission it. Like the install manuals probably, has a lot of that information. There's a lot of little tiny things I'm sure that you have to do a certain way for it to work the way you designed it to do. But then on the other flip side of that, it's the service training. What do I do when that doesn't actually happen? Right? When I push these buttons and that doesn't happen, what do I do next?
What's my support channel?
Support channel, basically, yeah. The service manuals, easy to get to.
Yep, everything. We have a portal solution navigator. You go there, you look up your model, installation manual, operation manual.
I was there last week. Yeah, it is pretty easy to navigate.
I've never seen it, so like compared to the golden standard of Myling Tribe, like how easy is it?
That's pretty easy, actually. And you guys have demo naming groups, so attaching it and the majority.
Yep.
Kind of the same model, it's just a different flavor. It's the same unit.
Exactly.
A different naming profile. So you guys went above and beyond because it's like, well, instead of grouping them together, even though the model numbers are different, you just went ahead and put the manual twice.
Great.
The right manual designation. So.
Exactly. And one thing we added new on our submittals now, whenever you prepare a report on submittals, there's a little button. It's a PDF file. You say it's click here for Revit files. So for building management system, if they want to have a Revit file for the design, they can just click on the submittal and it will download the Revit file.
Great.
For that.
That's awesome.
We know some other manufacturers where it's like on a completely different website.
Yeah.
That you have to go to and then log in.
Hidden.
And then it kicks you back to the original website. Then you have to log in there. And then it kicks you back to the other website. And it's like, I just need who's these Revit files.
Especially when it comes to commercial projects, the Revit files are much needed. So we wanted to make it as easy as possible. We are already giving these designers the submittal sheets and all the reports. All we needed to do is just put a link there. It's like if you need the Revit file, the model number is there. Right next to the model number, there's a click here for Revit file. You click that and then you download the Revit file.
Yeah, I mean that's really how it should be. Your design and turnover package should be a complete package with everything the engineer needs to finish out the prints.
Well, and so let's take it back to the other side then, the serviceability, but from the field portion. So you were showing us NFC in tag on your new unit. Tell us a little bit about that.
Unit, but also from the wired thermostat, you can use your phone. Near field communication is just like Apple Pay. You download the app called AirCloud Tap. It's available on Android Store and Apple Store. And once you download the app, you sign up, you create your account, and you log in. And once the unit is running, you can bring your AirCloud Tap and say retrieve data from the unit. You bring next to the unit, it will pull all the data, the dip switch settings, the function settings, operating temperatures, pressures, EV opening, all that data will be on your phone. So that helps not only with troubleshooting, but also installation, right? You want to install, because BRF installation is already hard as it is, and we want to simplify it. We don't want contractors opening the panels, removing it, doing dip switch settings for each and because if you have a big farm, if you have a large building, large facility, you want to do all this dip switch settings, it takes time.
Yeah.
So we wanted to simplify this process so they can copy from one unit, retrieve it, copy it, and paste the settings to the different units.
That's great. That's great. I mean, a good analog to that is when ABB came out with their 580, you could just Bluetooth from one to the next. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because it's one of those things too where like, you get certified to install and commission, and then you go out and you do that, but then you have problems, and it's like, well, now I need to go buy a service tool, but I can't get the service tool. Who do I buy that from? So this is all these complicated factors.
But I want to highlight this. We still need the service tool.
Yes.
24 hours of RAN data before we can bless the system, because there's always mistakes during the installation. We want to make sure everything is installed well, everything is installed properly. We want to see that run data for 24 hours. We want to see everything is running good, and we want to see that data before we bless the design as this is good to go.
But I love that too, because there's a lot of people out there who are just installing it and not doing anything about it, and then they come back a year later to you, they lose a compressor, they have a failure, and now it's, well, the equipment is no good. And it's like, well, did anybody look at it once they installed it and blessed it? Acquire that information to say, yes, it is running correctly. Because you could easily see that like we do, and that's what we talk about, looking at the data for that stuff. You can easily see it's undercharged. You can easily see it's overcharged for 24 hours. Or it's cross-piped.
Yeah. Is that 24 hours, is that it's tied to something tangible? Can you get past it, right? Is it absolutely required for, say, a warranty or something?
Yes.
Okay.
It is absolutely required. We require 24 hours of rain data. And if you look at the data and we see everything is properly running, we see the service tool, it kind of gives us CSV file. We look at all the parameters on the data, and we say, okay, this unit is properly installed. It can be warranted for 10 years.
Let's say you don't warranty it for 20 years?
No, 10 years is our standard.
10 is good. 10 is good. 10's a good number. It's better than 5 or 6 or 1.
But it's amazing that the blessing data is absolutely tied to the warranty. Don't do this, don't get warranty.
Well, that's the thing. You're holding them accountable. Do exactly what you told them to do the first time in the install class or the install meeting.
I mean, it's just an easy way to not have a bad install.
Exactly.
Do the 24 hours, make sure it's installed correctly, and then you get your warranty.
I would love to compare warranty data from manufacturers who don't do that compared to manufacturers who do that. And I can tell you that you guys are just killing it. In support to not have to have those failures, catch it on day one.
Yeah.
It's absolutely needed. Not only, okay, they can bypass, if you bless the design without looking at that, and if there's a mistake, it's just going to be a headache for the building owner, the customer, contractor. It's going to be a headache for everybody. So if you can catch that at the beginning of the job, and our tech support team is very good of looking at data. They look at this data every day. They understand it. They know what it means. And if there's mixed piping, mixed wiring, something is off, they will catch it and they'll say, fix this.
Yeah.
Before they bless the design of one.
It's awesome.
And that's important too, because not having the channels to actually have someone who's going to look at it too, who looks at it every single day. It's an expert. Again, some manufacturers charge for that. You guys do it for free. And
that was my next question. To produce that data as well, or does it always go back to the factory?
It goes back to us.
Wow.
Hitachi, we look at it.
That's awesome.
That's nice, because then you can ensure that it's not just someone from a local support group. Not that those guys are talented or they don't have someone who's an expert who can do that, but it guarantees that you guys look at it.
It's a tangible asset. If the unit fails, if you get a phone call, we look at it. We look at the serial number and we pull up the installation commissioning data from that unit. Tech service starts to review it, make sure everything properly. That's a reference data to look back to.
It's a birth certificate.
Yes, exactly. It's the birth certificate of the unit. And then we pull another service checker data, we compare, and then see where we were, and after 5 years, where we are.
Yes.
Most of the cases, yeah.
Because that's what it is, right? Leaking flare, it's an installation. But it's really nice that you guys actually save that, because a lot of people
Gone.
archive it, throw it away, whatever trash can into pull the NFC data off.
That's a good idea.
If you're taking notes.
You heard it here first.
Because then that way, it's you guys having access to it, but also anyone who might come across it is now trying to provide service to that client who wants to stand on their own 2 feet. I think it's also equally important to support those people, because that results in more sales for you guys.
Where that would be really handy is when you get like a building turnover to where, the building owner that bought the equipment might not be the person that still owns the building. The person that's moving in saying, hey, how do I know that this is actually working well?
Absolutely. I will take notes and I will recommend that to our service.
All right.
Yes. Okay, well, so outside of your newer products, you're saying, most of the stuff you have right now, it's still the same old for the most part, right? R32, NFC tab is new, R32 is new, tonnage capacity size for the 3-phase equipment, you said 20 ton, I think it's a max chassis size.
Yes, for 410A it was 16, now for R32, our maximum single cabinet is 20 ton.
Okay, and what about maximum connection capacity? So is it 40 tons, 2 modules?
No, maximum is 24 tons, okay. 2 modules.
Nice, okay. So outside of that, any newer indoor units, any design changes?
We have improved upon our defrost. Defrost is a challenge when it comes to heat pumps.
I'm listening.
Yes, our engineers, like I said, Hitachi is always innovating. Our engineers in Japan came up with this technology. A lot of defrost, if you look at different manufacturers, defrost is usually based on a timer. When you're on the heat pump, it's every 100 minutes, every 60 minutes, every 120 minutes. But we thought this is not a proper way of going for defrost. We have to understand how much ice is actually built on the unit. We're not going to put a camera to look on the ice, but there's ways to understand how much ice is actually built on the unit. If it's below sub-zero and you understand how much humidity is on the unit, you can kind of understand if the ice is built up or not. But we have come up with a different approach. So whenever the ice is built on the heat exchanger, it's going to be harder for your fan motors to pull the air through the heat exchanger. So if the temperatures are below sub-zero and we are on a heating mode, we are being running for 100 minutes or so, and we see a spike on the fan motors pulling amps, we understand the ice is starting to form on the condenser side. And we see the amps are going down, going up and going up and going up. We start to realize, okay, this is actually serious, guys. We need to go into defrost. So until we understand this the frosting is actually serious. The unit is not going to go into defrost every 60 minutes or one check. Yeah, it kills capacity. Or it's also uncomfortable for the end user.
Right. Yeah, the end user suffers.
Yes. So now we have come up with the smart defrost. Now our unit understands how much ice is actually on the unit without putting cameras around the unit. And now it can go all the way up to 250 or hours of operation on heating mode because it knows there's no ice on the unit.
I love it because
That's pretty awesome.
That's the thing where it's skipping over something that would cause discomfort for the client, but also could easily cause you to lose control
Control of the space.
especially when the humidity is high outside and the temperature is low. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's really smart about the fan motoring. Think about it. When you're putting a load on the motor and you restrict airflow, obviously, it's awesome.
I don't think any other manufacturer I've seen even try to implement that. Like I've seen maybe some rooftop manufacturers go that route, but none of the VRF has.
And that's latest, greatest equipment has the new defrost.
Smart defrost features. Unless if some crazy person comes to your house, with freezing temperatures,
Right.
and they put wood panels around your unit, it's gonna start to trip on defrost.
It just keeps going into defrost. Take the trash bags off the grill, clean it.
What's you probably see it, Roman. What's that bag that they sell for your condensers when it's summertime?
Oh, the cover over the
Yeah.
cover over the grills to keep acorns
Yeah.
in it, stuff like that. Yeah, well, the people do that, right? They see it and they think, inverter driven,
Can
low
handle it.
space, economical inverter system, a residential split system. We'll put a wood fence up. We'll put it on the deck and then we'll just cover the entire thing. You've got a good point. Like it's not designed to do that. Within the installation management, look at how much clearance you're supposed to have.
You're telling me
24 inches.
You're telling me that outdoor coil needs airflow?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know, it's a shock.
It's weird,
It's
right?
a huge shock. So, when all these things come to mind, you guys are designing the equipment.
It's not a furnace. They don't get this,
Instant
heat. But with these new units, we can also provide instant heat. Now, the second solution is defrost. I don't want my unit to go to defrost. I don't want to lose. I want to stay warm.
Let you go safely down to the defrost cycle.
Yes. So now we come with triggering this steps. You don't want to go into defrost very frequently. We want to give them constant heat. If the coil is not actually frozen, why should we go on defrost?
Well, so on top of that,
We do. It's available.
Things where it's important to know that there's a lot of different options out there. Long term, we're not the only climate in the world that has snow. Design caveats that's like, okay, we have to be cautious with sizing. You've got a gas furnace, 80,000 BTUs. You don't go back with an 80,000 BTU. So with that low ambient model, you guys
Yes, we do have all our models have vapor injection Hitachi compressors, and that's how we are able to achieve -22 on the large scale VR.
no rotary.
No rotary. Everything is a scroll.
Scroll.
You invented it, you might as well just keep exactly the design.
So we invented it.
I love it. You have any more questions for him?
No, it's great. It's pretty awesome.
Good. All right, well, we appreciate your time and spending it with us.
Thank you, guys.
Obviously, we're going to get connected. We've got some projects that we have coming up that are actually outside. Yes. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you for your
appreciate it
time.
very much. Thank you.
Appreciate it.